In the stillness of dawn, the Buddha meditated beneath a majestic tree, his presence radiating profound serenity and wisdom. A young artisan approached, his face etched with turmoil. Seeking solace in the Buddha's boundless compassion, he knelt, bowing deeply, and spoke, "Master, my days are consumed by toil, yet my heart remains restless and unfulfilled." The Buddha opened his eyes, his gaze tender and all-knowing, and gestured for the man to sit beside him. "Tell me, young one," the Buddha began, his voice calm like the flowing river, "what stirs this restlessness within your spirit?" The man hesitated, his thoughts a tangled web, and replied, "I labor for sustenance, but my efforts feel hollow and empty." The Buddha nodded, his understanding profound, and said, "Let us explore together the root of your unease and discontent." He lifted a seed from the ground and held it delicately, a symbol of life's hidden potential. This seed, the Buddha explained, holds within it the promise of a mighty tree, if it finds fertile soil. The young artisan listened intently, his heart yearning for clarity and direction amid the noise of his doubts. The Buddha continued, "Likewise, your actions must find their root in intention, for without purpose, they cannot bear the fruits of joy." The man asked, "Master, how do I discern the right intention to guide my efforts and bring meaning to my work?" The Buddha smiled gently, his compassion infinite, and replied, "Reflect deeply on what you seek to offer, not just to gain." He gestured to the forest around them, its life intertwined in harmony, each being contributing to the balance of existence. The bird gathers twigs for its nest, not for glory, but for the shelter of its young, the Buddha observed. The artisan pondered these words, his mind painting vivid images of a life lived with purpose and connectedness. The Buddha continued, "True intention aligns with the path of compassion and wisdom, seeking to uplift others as it fulfills oneself." The man asked, "Master, how can I cultivate such an intention when the burdens of daily life weigh so heavily on me?" The Buddha replied, "Begin with mindfulness, for in awareness lies the key to recognizing what truly nourishes your soul." He took a handful of soil and let it slip through his fingers, illustrating the transient nature of all things. "Recognize impermanence," the Buddha said, "and let it guide you to cherish each moment and align it with your purpose. Frustration is the wave. Each ripple begins small but amplifies when resisted. What shall I do next?" The Buddha smiled, his presence a beacon of light, and said, "Nurture the seed of your intention with practice and patience." He pointed to a sapling nearby, its fragile branches reaching for the sun, a testament to life's resilience and growth. "Your work is like this sapling," the Buddha explained. "It must be tended with care, free from haste and greed." The artisan asked, "Master, how do I resist the temptations of wealth and recognition that often mislead my efforts?" The Buddha replied, "Understand their impermanence and see them as tools, not destinations, in your journey toward fulfillment and peace." He gestured to the river flowing endlessly, its waters finding their way naturally, unforced, toward the vast ocean. "Flow with your purpose," the Buddha said, "and trust that the current will carry you where you are meant to be." Buddha gestured toward the sunlight illuminating the pond's surface, its glimmers casting gentle reflections upon the gathered assembly's attentive faces. Light shines upon the pond, revealing beauty, despite imperfections. Parenting finds harmony when patience illuminates moments both calm and chaotic. The mother bowed her head, tears flowing freely, and murmured, "Blessed One, your words are profound, yet how shall I apply them?" Buddha regarded her thoughtfully, his demeanor encouraging and firm, emphasizing, "Begin by breathing deeply, pausing before action." The Buddha returned to his meditation, his presence a silent reminder of the boundless possibilities within the human spirit. Beneath the shade of the tree, the truths of existence seemed as clear as the gentle rustling of leaves. The disciples, observing this exchange, found themselves inspired, each reflecting on their own intentions and actions. The teachings of the Buddha echoed in their minds, a melody of wisdom guiding them toward harmony and contentment. As the child's cries softened and steadied, Buddha remarked, "Even the child seeks harmony, though they express their needs without understanding." A disciple asked, "Blessed One, what if one's patience falters under strain? How does one recover from moments of anger?" Buddha answered without hesitation, "Anger clouds the pond's waters, but stillness returns when clouds drift and effort ceases." A young man returned, his steps lighter than before, but his expression carried new shadows of worry and confusion. He bowed deeply, speaking with respect, "Master, I walk the path you showed, yet fear grips my heart, clinging to what I achieve." The Buddha opened his eyes, his gaze as calm as the river's flow, and gestured for him to sit close. "Tell me, child," the Buddha said gently, "what stirs this fear within you, even as your steps follow intention?" The man hesitated, his thoughts battling, and replied, "I fear losing the fruits of my labor and the recognition they bring." The Buddha nodded, his understanding profound, and took a handful of sand from the ground, holding it in his palm. "Observe," the Buddha spoke, closing his fist tightly. "When I grasp this sand, what becomes of it under the pressure of my hand?" The grains slipped through his fingers, falling to the earth, demonstrating the futility of clutching too tightly to impermanent things. "Attachment is like this," the Buddha explained, his voice resonating deeply. "The tighter you cling, the more you lose." The young man listened with earnest attention, his fear reflected in the grains now scattered at their feet. The Buddha continued, "Know that all things are impermanent. Your success, failures, possessions, and praise are fleeting by nature." He gestured to the flowing river, its waters moving unceasingly, no droplet remaining in one place for long. "Perform your work with diligence," the Buddha advised, "but release attachment to outcomes, for only then can peace be found within." The artisan asked, "Master, how do I unbind myself from the weight of expectation and find joy in the act alone?" The Buddha smiled gently, picking a delicate flower, and replied, "Focus on the present moment, like appreciating the bloom before it wilts. Release your mind from the chains of fear," the Buddha said, "and immerse yourself fully in the now, where life unfolds." The young man nodded, striving to absorb the teachings of the Buddha, his heart longing for freedom from his worries. His eyes softened, filled with compassion. "What does the bamboo teach us, my friend?" The father glanced at the grove uneasily. "Picture a potter crafting vessels," the Buddha shared, weaving a parable. "She pours her heart into each, knowing their fates may vary. Some break, others sell, yet she finds peace in the act itself, detached from their final destiny," the Buddha explained. The young man listened intently, his spirit stirred by the analogy and the clarity it brought to his restless mind. "Master, I understand," the man said, determination rising within him. "I shall strive to let go and find peace." The Buddha smiled, his presence a beacon of hope and wisdom, his teachings a balm for troubled souls seeking enlightenment. The river's gentle murmurs blended with the echoes of the Buddha's words, creating a symphony of harmony and truth. Disciples observing nearby were moved deeply, their thoughts reflecting on their own attachments and the freedom they sought. The teachings of the Buddha resonated beyond the forest, touching hearts and guiding lives toward liberation and inner joy. The young man bowed once more, gratitude filling his spirit, and departed to practice detachment and mindfulness in his life. The Buddha returned to meditation, his presence a reminder that peace and wisdom remain within reach of those who seek. Another day, Another evening fell upon the forest, its beauty enhanced by the stillness and profound truths that lingered there. Another day. Another evening bathed the forest in golden hues, where the Buddha sat amidst the tranquil sounds of nature. A young man approached, his face serene yet carrying questions, and bowed deeply before the Buddha's radiant presence. "Master," he began, "I labor with intention and detachment, but harmony with those around me eludes my grasp." The Buddha opened his eyes, his gaze as steady as the mountains, and gestured for the man to sit closer. "Tell me, child," the Buddha said gently, "what troubles arise in your relationships that disturb the harmony you seek?" The man replied, "Master, I struggle to work with others whose actions and values differ from my own understanding." The Buddha nodded, his expression serene, and pointed to the river that meandered gracefully through the landscape. "Do you see the river, young one?" the Buddha asked. "Its waters flow as one, though they come from many streams. Your work is not yours alone," the Buddha explained. "It is part of a greater whole, interconnected like the river's flow." The man pondered this, his thoughts seeking clarity in the metaphor of unity and interconnectedness the Buddha presented. The Buddha continued, "To find harmony, practice compassion, and understand that each being contributes uniquely to the fabric of existence." He gestured to the trees, their branches entwined, supporting one another to reach toward the sky and embrace the sunlight. "Unity does not require uniformity," the Buddha said. "It flourishes when diversity is met with respect and shared purpose." The young man asked, "Master, how can I nurture compassion and cooperation amidst the challenges and conflicts of daily life?" The Buddha smiled, his wisdom vast, and replied, "Begin by seeing yourself in others, recognizing their joys, struggles, and humanity." He told a parable, weaving a tale of birds who learn to fly together, each trusting and supporting the other to soar higher. A group of swans moved in perfect formation, the Buddha shared, their unity lifting them beyond what any could achieve alone. Their strength lay in understanding their roles and trusting one another, the Buddha explained, not in competing for individual greatness. The man listened intently, his heart stirred by the story and the profound message it conveyed about interconnected efforts. "Master, I see the truth in your words," the man said, "but how do I cultivate trust and cooperation practically?" The Buddha replied, "Practice mindfulness in your interactions, speaking and acting with kindness, and striving to build bridges rather than walls." He gestured to the forest path, where footprints of many travelers overlapped, leading together toward a shared destination. "Each step toward understanding and connection," the Buddha said, "creates a pathway to harmony that benefits the collective as well as the individual." The man nodded, absorbing the teachings of the Buddha, his heart swelling with the resolve to bring compassion into his work. The Buddha continued, "Patience is key, for relationships, like the ripening of fruit, require time, care, and nourishment to thrive." He plucked a ripe mango from a tree, offering it as a symbol of the rewards of patience and mindful cultivation. "When you nurture compassion and interconnectedness," the Buddha said, "harmony will blossom naturally, like this fruit, sweet and fulfilling." The young man bowed deeply, gratitude shining in his eyes, and vowed to embody the teachings in his relationships. The Buddha's gaze softened as he added, "Remember, the effort you sow in compassion returns as the peace you seek." The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow, as the disciples listened, inspired by the profound exchange. The teachings of the Buddha resonated in the forest air, a melody of wisdom that guided the hearts of all present. The young man departed, his spirit renewed, ready to weave compassion and harmony into the fabric of his daily life. The Buddha returned to his meditation, his presence a serene reminder of the interconnectedness that binds all beings. Another day, another night fell upon the forest, its stillness filled with the echoes of truth and the light of wisdom. Another day ended peacefully, wisdom gently nourishing the grove's roots of resilience. Another day, another dusk illuminated the temple courtyard, where the Buddha gathered disciples beneath the stars' silvery gaze. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.